Hello, hello, and welcome. So glad you could join us. Thanks for joining us. So, I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered how you can break beyond or move beyond the socioeconomic status that you were born into so that you can bust through that barrier and create the life that you've always wanted for yourself? Have you had struggles with reaching that glass ceiling or that what some people call the upper limit based on old programming and the way you were raised and those thoughts of your parents like money doesn't grow on trees and things like that? Well, I have some really exciting news for you because today we are going to be talking to one of the experts in mindset that came from a background that's going to blow your mind. She's going to share how she has been able to break through those barriers and create amazing wealth, joy, love, just an amazing life. So get ready. We're going to get started here. Hi, I'm Suzie Bowers, and I am the founder of Hypno Professional, where you get to ignite your hypnotic awesomeness. And today we're going to be interviewing my special guest, Laura Lee Kinney. She's going to be streaming live from Canada. Very, very exciting. So let's do this. We're here to ignite your hypnotic awesomeness. Let's do it. Woohoo! All righty. Okay, had a little technical glitch, but hey, I am human. I am human. And these things happen. So welcome. Hi there. I'm Suzie Bowers, and welcome to Everything Hypnosis Expert Interview Series 2022. Today, we are here to talk to an amazing new friend of mine. I'm so excited and deeply honored to be a co-author with her in our upcoming book, our best-selling book, We're Manifesting. Empowered Women in Business. So today, please help me give a warm welcome to Laura Lee Kinney. Here we go. Let's bring her on.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here.
Hi, Laura Lee. Thank you so much for joining me. I've been really looking forward to this because I love your story. And I know we did some group trainings with Selena Dorsey, and I was really looking forward to getting to know you better. So thank you for joining me.
It's wonderful. And I'm so excited that we're both trained in hypnotherapy in addition. Most people don't know that about me.
I know, that's true. So a lot of coaches actually use hypnosis or hypnotherapy. And that umbrella covers so many amazing tools and things to just be able to access those parts of ourselves that need that help to overcome old limiting beliefs and break through to better days and more empowerment. So I'm glad that you have that training because it's so effective. And so I'm glad that you shared that with us today. So we're going to talk a little bit about you. I want to hear a little bit about your story if you would share. But before we get started, I do want to welcome our guests and those who are watching either today live or in the replay. If you would just drop us a note below and say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you need any more information or you'd like to get more information even after you've watched it, let us know by dropping a message and I will be in touch, or private message me. Love to hear from you no matter what. All right. So Laura Lee, I was reading your chapter that you sent me. Thank you. That was really sweet of you to send that over. So you had an amazing childhood, which kind of reminds me a little bit of my mother-in-law and her mother. I'll just share this really quick. Her mother they were raised in Oklahoma before they came to California. And they were very, very poor. I mean, very poor. My mother-in-law's mother had to pick cotton to support her family. A lot of people don't think of a little oaky white lady picking cotton, but that's what she had to do. And when she told that story, I mean, we were laughing our butts off because she was just so adorable. She's passed now, but she lived to be almost 100.
Yes, I heard that.
So tell us about your story. How did you get started in your life?
Well, it's not common nowadays for most people to grow up in a family with 12 children. There's 12 children.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone survived.
That's amazing.
That is. And it's interesting because there's 17 years between the oldest and the youngest.
Wow.
Anyway, there's lots that went on for us, we'll say, elders in the family that the younger ones don't even know. They have no concept of what our life used to be like. And I have a little concept of what my parents' life was like because I got to stay with my grandparents. And they also didn't have a washroom in the house for a lot of years, a lot of decades. And the parents did the best they could. There wasn't any such thing for most people, especially I'll say rural Canada, because that's where we lived, to get loans from the banks. There was no credit cards. You were lucky if a store allowed you to buy something on credit and have it, if you didn't pay it, you never got to do it again, I'm quite sure. And it was interesting. Not too long ago, I was at an event and this lady and I were talking. And she asked me who I was. And she worked at one of the stores downtown. And she said, one thing I can say, your parents always paid their bills.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's not the case nowadays where we have so many people declare bankruptcy, and they start over again. Like it's quite common. Like you just, anyway.
I know it's wild, isn't it? So you and I have I'm an only child, so I didn't have the whole family thing there. So it kind of blows my mind. It really blows my mind. But I noticed in your story that you started working around the age of 12. So did I. So tell me about that.
Yeah, I started before that. I was to be out babysitting for other people. But at the age of 12, one of my mom's cousins, anyway, the family situation was the father was working and the mom had left. And there was 4 children under the age of 6. And one of them had severe second-degree burns.
Oh my gosh.
From an accident. And I was to go there 6 days a week. Can you imagine sending a 12-year-old nowadays? Which this wasn't, nobody shook their head at this.
No, it's just the way it was. We did what we had to do.
Yeah, you had to feed them, bathe them. They had more, they had some luxuries that maybe some other houses might not have had. However, I had to make the meals, clean the house, bathe them, do laundry. And it was for that whole summer. And I got paid a whopping $20 a week.
Wow. That was probably a lot of money then.
No.
Well, compared to today.
Early 70s. But that was all he could afford. He was a laborer and, he did his best. And, it just was a tragic family situation. And I can remember when the young girl graduated, or the oldest graduated. I happened to be home and Mom said, you got an invitation for so-and-so's graduation. And I went, she's not old enough to graduate, Mom. And she said, yes, she is. And I went, no, I looked after her when I was 12. And I went, oh yeah, I guess she is.
Time flies when you're having fun. Well, fast forward, you became a financial advisor. So how did all that pass? I know that for me, having kind of ups and downs. My parents did well, then it would crash and burn, and we'd be very humbly financially impoverished for a minute. And so it was very motivating. So do you think that background helped to motivate you to take those next steps? And
yeah. Somebody actually asked me a couple of weeks ago. I got to be on a wonderful trip of a lifetime on a Rhine River cruise with Donna Eden, if you can imagine.
Oh, wow. How fun.
Yeah. Whoa. anyway, they said, what made you get into finance? They asked me what I was doing. And here I am with all this love and kindness and woo-woo, as you call it, this energy medicine training that, it wasn't deep training, but I said, I do totally the opposite. And they said, why? What do you do? And I said, I'm a financial planner. And they said, what made you get into that? And I said, listen, I grew up poor and I didn't want to stay there.
Yeah, it's very motivating. And so what are your thoughts on learning? Sometimes people, they just say, oh, well, I just had it so rough and, I'm the victim, and all that. And what was it, what advice can you give to someone else? Like, how can they say, no, anyone has the opportunity if you just learn the rules of money. So why is that important? What advice would you give to someone listening?
Oh, I totally agree with you that we are not the circumstance we were born into. It is our choice. We can decide. And if we make a committed decision, we can decide to make a difference in our life, to make a change. And you don't have to be super smart, well educated to do this. I used to think that because, of course, I was told, my Grammy, God love her, she said, work really hard and get good studies and get a good job and you'll get ahead. And I understood the education part of it. But let me tell you, when you have young kids on TikTok right now making millions of dollars a year, do they have the education? I don't think so.
I'm going to say something really mean, and they're dumb as posts. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Lots of love.
All the posts that they do, yes. But
anyway, you're just like scratching your head, like, really?
Yeah, but see, you don't have to be extremely smart, or educated to make money. It's baffling. And I've worked probably 20 years as a financial planner, being really diligent, coaching people to make goals, absolutely goals, and to write them down and talk about them. That was something I did that a lot of other advisors didn't do. But I did not know until the last 5 years and really got into personal development that I realized that we don't always have to live within our means. If we have wonderful, outrageous goals, go after making more money. Find other ways to make money. We need multiple streams of income most of the time. And
it's good to have a backup thing that you're doing because you never know.
Yeah. And there's all kinds of people doing just affiliate programs. They're not making any of them. They're just promoting other people. And they're making a great living on that. I need to work on that a little bit more.
Absolutely. Actually, I have a couple, and it's kind of fun when you see the commission just drop in your bank account. And I love that too. Plus, for me, there are some really amazing programs out there. I want to promote them because I know they're going to help people, and it's what I'm all about. And like
absolutely, absolutely. I didn't realize about the affiliate programs. I've always been one to promote other people. And it was interesting when I started doing some of these tests that they tell you to do to learn more about yourself. One of my main zone of genius is a supporter and being a natural leader, but I support other people and promote them naturally. And I was like, and I've been saying I need to learn how to monetize that to my benefit, for everybody's benefit, because it's there. You just have to learn how to do it. But I'm going to share a few, I'm going to say secrets, because they might be secrets to some people.
We love secrets. Secrets are awesome.
Yes. The very first thing, and I had to learn this the hard way, like many of us do, to learn to take care of myself first.
Yes, so important. And I learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah. It's really interesting. Many people tell us that we can't give from an empty bowl. in order to be able to do more for other people, we need to nourish ourselves and take care of ourselves, even if it's just a few minutes a day at times. But prioritize yourself. It was interesting for 25 years prior, and I'm still only 39, even though
You too?
what happened there? I sold skincare and cosmetics. And I started that when I was in high school because I couldn't afford to have cosmetics. And my skin was so dry because we used to use Sunlight soap, if you can imagine,
Oh my
that yellow
gosh.
jar. And my skin would just, it was so drying on the skin, but I just thought I had really dry skin. And I started using some nice products. And oh my goodness, my skin was beautiful. Well, probably if I had just taken out the Sunlight soap, would have been a step up in the first place. However, I now say I used to show people how to shine from the outside. Now I teach them how to shine from the inside.
Oh, Laura Lee, that is so cool. I love that. That's beautiful.
Thank you. So really looking after ourselves, and some wonderful mentors I have are teaching me have taught me how to align myself so that I can be calmer. And we want to respond rather than react. I'm a fire sign. I'm an Aries, so I'm great at reacting.
Oh, you must be having a birthday pretty soon.
Oh, I am. I am. So anyway, that's the first, for me, that was the first secret that I really felt helped me, the stepping stones. And next, I started learning about the law of the universe, law of attraction, and there's many other laws in there along that line. But by doing that, it really opened up my eyes to saying, like just asking for things. My goodness, I got responses, positive responses, and sometimes like this. Like here I am in January, mid-January, having the opportunity to write a chapter in a collaborative book with these amazing ladies who I did not know prior. But it was one of my goals for a long-term goal, which I'll tell in another time. You do it January 1st. Well, I guess I did it last fall, but January 15th, it happened. I'm just like,
I know. And what a great group of women that we're involved with too. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but let's continue with your keys.
Yeah.
I just absolutely love the book that we're doing, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Plus you did another book too. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. So put the keys up here on the screen so people could see.
Oh, okay. Christy Whitman has also taught me about choosing certain words, eliminating certain words, and how it changes so much positive events happening. And I didn't even realize that I was saying things, because the universe doesn't have a sense of humor sometimes. If I want to say, I don't want to eat that, all of a sudden I'm eating it because it's there.
That's the way our subconscious works as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't hear I don't. It doesn't hear don't. It hears I want. Oh, yeah. It's like telling your kids, don't run in the street. Don't tell them that. Say, stop. Stand on the sidewalk. So true.
So it's so funny. Next one is to get really clear on what you want. And this comes into goal setting, which I really is we could talk the whole time on goal setting. But I used to do goal setting as, quote, the SMART goal setting. But I don't do that anymore. I want to be much higher above than that. But a couple of things I did with name tags that I've had laying around the house. Can you see this?
Oh, yeah, that's cool. What would you really love?
Yep. So
that's such a great question.
We need to get really clear on what we would love, really love. To say, I want to be abundant. I want to be wealthy. I don't want to have any bills. And one of my mentors said, well, you could be living under a bridge and you don't have any bills.
So
So be careful how you word things. As you know, we need to word them as if they've already happened. And this is another one that I took and added to this one.
Oh, I love that.
And these are just around to help me remind me all the time, that I'm on the right track, that anything is possible for us.
That's a great affirmation. Your success is absolutely guaranteed.
Mm. And Bob Proctor has taught us this to many of us. He says there's two important things you need to know. One, where you are, and two, where you want to go. And that's what we need to go. No, not in between.
That is such a key thing right there that you just said. It's good because it's part of your 5 secret keys. But it's so important to know where you are. And I will just share personally, I had a moment where I had coaches, this is 20 years ago, where they're like, well, you want to create, 6 figures or whatever. Well, where are you now? And I couldn't answer that question. I couldn't answer that for a variety of reasons. One was I was embarrassed because I wasn't even close to that, nor, but I was doing all the things we're talking about, law of attraction, keep that positive mindset, kind of fake it till you make it. And so, but what I learned was until I could really get honest with where I am or where I was at that time, you can't get there. It's like there's a part in your mind that needs to know you're here, but your goal is to be there. But if you don't know that you're here, there's like a bunch of steps missing.
Yes. And we don't need to know exactly how we're going to get there. We need to work on ourselves all the time to up level, and opportunities will show up out of the blue.
They do.
They do. I know. Beautiful. And one of the things early on when I was doing my goal setting card was saying that I wanted to, I'm a happy and a healthy multimillionaire who has money flowing easily and effortlessly to me from multiple sources of income. Date it, sign it. After a while, I was like, wait a minute. I'm open to not working for the money. I'm quite happy for it to come into my life on whatever way the universe wants to give it to me. I don't have to earn it all. But Bob Proctor had taught us that in the 6 Minute to Success. And he said he always wanted to earn his money. That's him. That's not necessarily me.
It's true. You can put it out there. Money can come to you from unexpected places, and not necessarily because you traded your time. And that's very true. I learned some of this stuff when way back when I was in my real estate career. I was doing, I brought this up before. I was doing Tony Robbins' personal power program. And because I was kind of getting stuck. I was young. I was only 25. I was 24 when I had my license. And I, all of a sudden what would they say? The journey of self-employment is actually the disguise for the journey of self-improvement.
That is so true. That is so
I learned
true.
that beyond, but we had us taking all this action, right? You had to take actions every day. And it wasn't exactly the right action, but it was action. Some of it was good. But what happened, Laura Lee, for me was all of a sudden these real estate deals would just drop in my lap. Like even where I didn't even do the work. Like, the people wanted to list it, then something else happened, another opportunity came up and they paid the commission anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, things like that. They were just, it just started this snowball of goodness and unexpected prosperity.
Oh, it's lovely. I'm more amazed, especially this last 5 years, like the amount of ways to earn money. I'm just blown away. And I'm sure I only know a fraction of the ways to earn money, but to be open to, especially the internet has made such a huge leaps and bounds for the information to get out to us. A lot of these opportunities were there before, but the majority of us didn't know them. And depending on our education, and I will tell a quick little story about education. And it was interesting. that somebody that you and I've talked about before, in their family, the boy got to go to university, go to higher education. The girls didn't. And one of the things in math that they used to teach was, when I went to school, teaching you basic math, what if you have 10 apples and you give away 5? How many do you have left? Of course, 5. Higher education, or more enlightened education, says if you have 10 businesses and you sell 5, how many do you have left?
5?
Just a little, yeah, still 5. But the thoughts of it, you're buying and selling, you're not giving it away.
Right. Oh gosh, that is so huge right there. That is so
It changes the
huge.
mindset.
I love what you just said too. I have to write it down. Enlightened education. Higher education, we have the belief, universal belief, that means, college, and that's not always the way.
No.
The higher education, or enlightened education, is something different, and that's where you can really learn about the rules of prosperity.
Oh, it's mind-blowing that the amount, as we learn more, the amount of people that have prospered, say in the last 50 years, even before that, the majority of them, a lot of them haven't even finished high school, let alone ever had advanced education or higher education. But yet they've survived.
Well, I'm one of the first people in my family to get any kind of college degree. But I'll tell you what, that is not where I learned. That is not where I learned anything that really mattered, except for my real estate broker who taught classes. He was actually out there living it and doing it. So that was, that was different. But the other stuff, it's like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning literature and things that I enjoyed, but I didn't learn the rules of money and the laws of prosperity and the law of attraction and how to run a business from college. None of it was there. And I have a degree in business.
There you go. Yeah. It's interesting. One of my goals is to set up, and I've learned that it's going to be a not-for-profit platform of teaching young adults financial literacy, to teach them some other opportunities, how to set goals, how to have a more positive, wealthy mindset. Yes, we'll be talking about credit card debt and mortgages and things like that, but it needs to be more than just that. As I said, I want people to not live within their means, to make the money to match their goals.
Well, they have to love themselves. Like you were talking about, that part of being able to do that is loving yourself and leaving the past in the past, and learning how to get the mindset and the heart and everything in the right place. I love that, Laura Lee. I totally support that journey.
That's why I started on to write in other books, to get some practice, because I have some other goals for the young adults. Well, that's hopefully in the very near future.
Well, let's talk about the book, since you brought that up. Okay, so let's talk about our collaborative, Empowered Women in Business. So I'm going to pop this up here, and then that will put us all in here together. So Empowered Women in Business, our book collaborative, we've got 21 women from around the world who are sharing their stories of challenge and perseverance and prosperity in so many different ways. I mean, it's just so beautiful. I can't wait. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. And you're part of that. So what is your chapter about, and what can someone expect by reading?
A bit about what I've talked about already today, but we have some more goodies in there. But I'm going to show you the power of positive thought. I've done some things to my cover page.
Oh, let me take this down so we can see yours. I love it. So this is powerful visualization.
Yes, and it's normally on my board over there, but there's another little symbol I need to print off and add on to it, because we not only want to be Amazon bestsellers, we also want to be international bestsellers. And so put it out there. We will be. I know. There's just no way around it.
We will be. So that's so powerful, because our subconscious mind, when it sees those pictures, it sinks in there, and then the subconscious starts to take action and make things happen to facilitate that. And that's why vision boarding is so powerful.
Yes.
Our-
And I'm going to put in the back at one of my giveaways that I'm going to do is give a little recording on wealth rewiring. Because as I was taught, lots of times when you're just on your journey, and I've said this for many years, oh, I can't afford that. Not in my vocabulary anymore. I may choose not to do that right now, but I don't use those words anymore. So it's interesting. One of my coaches taught me to do that. And it's interesting when they listen to recordings, which you do all the time with people. Sometimes it can be done just like that. Other times it might take a few days of them listen to it. Some of them up to 21 days. All of a sudden, the money will appear for them to do. If they really want to do it, the money will show up.
It's so true. I have that same philosophy. So in my hypnotherapy coaching business, I sit down with people. This is something I train on all the time too. And I learned it myself, because there'd be something that maybe was $500. And I'm like, I can't afford that. But then something else would come along that was $2,000. And I'd be like, oh, I'm doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find a way. You find a way if it's meant to be. So when people say I can't afford it, what they're really saying is it's not that important right now.
Yeah.
And so I try to help them see, if here's where you are. You just shared all these things that are not working in your life. Now imagine that it's 6 months from now and you have not solved problems and you're still in that same situation. What's that going to be like for you? Then all of a sudden the value is there. It's not about the money. It's about the value, because if you've done the work and you've loving yourself, like you were sharing, and now 6 months from now, you're living your life in joy. You've got great relationships going on. Prosperity's coming in. What's $2,000 compared to the 100,000 that's coming? Or that because you're happy.
You probably use this statement with your clients, is to say, how can I make this happen?
Yes. That's a good question. Good questions are really important too. Right. Asking the right question is very important. And you said something a little bit ago, and I'm trying to think what it was. I thought it was such a good question. But anyway, I can't think of it right now. Brain fart. Brain fart. So here is our book collaborative. I'm going to put this up here so people can see it. So Empowered Women in Business is going to be coming out soon. We don't have an exact launch date, but we really, we asked, number one, for you to not only help us make it a number one bestseller, but you're going to get so much value out of it yourself. So I have I'm going to stick this on the bottom here. So if you want to get like on the pre-order, so we can notify you, well, I'm going to be sending out an e-blast and putting it on Facebook and stuff. But you can get on our list, yourempoweredwomen.com, and we'll let you know about our special that we'll have when we launch our Empowered Women in Business book. And then, okay, so I'm going to leave that there for a second. But Laura Lee, you did another book too. You're just on fire in 2022.
I know. You talk about opportunities happening.
So tell me.
I said it one day that I would like to be in at least one more collaborative book. The next day, the opportunity showed up.
That's totally cool. Let me see. I have a picture of it here. Here we go. Let's take a look at that. Beautiful. So it's called Thrive and Prosper, and it is available on Amazon right now.
Just today. This is an exciting day. Today is the first day.
That is
and
awesome.
It's already hit number one in 2 different categories. It could be more because we were 3rd and 4th in 2 other categories. And I just was like, wow.
That is very exciting. And what a great title, Thrive and Prosper. I love the word thrive. It's such a great word. And of course, Who doesn't want to prosper? So what is your chapter about in this book?
Well, again, to have a wealthier mindset, really working on that. Similar concept, but some other ideas, other suggestions for people to do to get a wealthier, healthier mindset, to be open to ideas, open to prosperity, open to opportunities.
Beautiful. I'm definitely going to grab my copy today. Is it
Awesome.
Kindle? Is it hard or paperback and Kindle?
Yeah, both right now. And just like our other book, both books, there is well over $1,000 worth of freebies, bonuses for people.
Good point. Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's a no-brainer. I just like, you know, like I think it's $2.99 US on Kindle right now. Now, who can't afford that to change their life?
Right. Oh, that's amazing.
And sometimes that's all it takes is reading where other people have been. They don't have to know all the stuff. I wouldn't even dare put in a lot of the things that happened in my life.
Well, that's your whole book you're going to write.
Yeah, that's another book. And then I probably wouldn't put everything in, but we want to empower and uplift. The old saying about that all ships rise with the high tide. Like we support one another, and we need to do that more and more. And I was mentioning earlier that apparently the Dalai Lama said that the North American women are going to be the catalyst, the uplifting to the growth coming.
Take us to the next level.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
It's going to help rise and bring everybody up, bring the high tide for everybody. And so I'm a huge believer in what you just said too. And my motto with Hypno Professionals, passion, purpose, and prosperity. And your passion and purpose changes people's lives. And when that happens, you gain prosperity as well. When you're helping others like you're doing, Laura Lee, and you're helping them move past all the crap and embrace their empowerment and financial savvy and thrive in every way, it's lifting the vibration of the planet. Because when that person is healed, that person's stuff is healed and their baggage, they got all those rocks out of their backpack from the past and they can create that prosperity, their joy and everything. It radiates all around them into the environment, to their family, their friends, their workplace. And that is so beautiful. So thank you for all the amazing work you're doing. Do you have any final words for us today? Any suggestions?
Support one another and take care of yourself. Really learn to love yourself.
That's the key to the whole thing.
Yeah.
It really is. And recognizing that all of us are exactly the same, beautiful spiritual light, having a human experience in our own unique way.
Yeah.
So if people want to reach you and would like maybe to explore what it might be like to work with you, what would they do?
Well, new website, lauraleekenny.com. Of course, the www ahead of time. Just check. I've turned my personal, which I thought was a personal website, Facebook page, to it's going to be a business Facebook page. They can check me out there.
Okay. And that's Laura Lee Kenny too?
Yes.
Let's see here. Yeah. And you have a free hypnosis wealth rewiring recording?
Yes, I'm going to do that.
Okay, so that's up and coming. Askforthegold.com. What a great domain name. Very cool. So let me see here. So your Facebook.com, lauralee.kenny.
Yeah.
Awesome.
lauraleekenny.com. Yes. Just we're told, asked and it is given.
I love that book. It's so true. Keep asking, keep proclaiming, please keep declaring what you desire.
I'm just amazed at some of the things that, like it's just, that has come into my life because I verbalized it. And of course, I write them out. I write them down. It's very important and look at them daily. Like I one of my mentors right now, she has me doing something and I'm still old school.
Oh, me too. I love writing things.
I do a digital, but anyway, it's a tracker where I check off. And there's times where I looked at that and went, oh, I didn't do it. And I choose all of those. They're not chosen for me. I choose them because I know my life will be better by choosing them. I was out at midnight walking up and down the street because there was a couple of street lights here in order to get my 2 kilometers in.
Well, I thought you were street walking or something.
The neighbors might have thought so. but if I don't do that, just like, did I drink 8 glasses of water? If I don't check it off, I just think I've done it.
Yep. Got to keep track. Yep. It's really important to keep track and know that you did that. And then check it because that feels so good. I think we're having some technical issues. Can you see me okay?
I saw that. Yeah. Yeah. It's we're both probably a little blurry.
Yeah,
and that's good. It erases the line.
Yes, huh?
We are a woman of certain ages, right?
Internet. Thank you, Internet, for making us look youthful. And so, well, Laura Lee, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. You're amazing. And thank you so much for taking time out of your, I know, very busy schedule. And we wish you all the success with both books. And I know I can't wait to see the one you write yourself as well. I'm sure that's up and coming because you have a great story to share and some great wisdom. So thank you so much. Love you. And we'll be talking again soon. So I'm going to say goodbye and finish up our live here. All right. Oh, wasn't she amazing? Hold on just a second here. I'm going to put some things up here. So wasn't Laura Lee just amazing? She has such a great story and such a big heart, and you can totally feel it as we're talking with her. So I just want to recap what we talked about today. So we are going to do that right now. So Laura Lee had some great secrets that she shared with you and all of us, and I completely in agreement, but she did this in her own unique and beautiful way. And I'm going to recap those. One is you're going to learn to love yourself. You're going to learn to love yourself. In my mind, that is the key to everything. If you are not loving yourself, if you are not taking the time to nurture yourself, the other pieces are not going to fall into place. That is the first key, in my mind, the most important. Take a moment, take a deep breath, and put your hands on your heart, close your eyes, and tune into that heart center and just say, I love you. I love you. I love you. Do this every day. And if you can look in the mirror and do it and look in your own eyes and say, I love you. You're a beautiful person. It'll just bring you the hugest peace and such beauty. The other part of the recap was learning the laws of the universe, the law of attraction, baby. The law of attraction is real. It is real. It's not that woo-woo stuff. Nope, it's not woo-woo. It is real. The law of attraction, everything is energy. Our world is made of energy. You are part of all that energy. And so when you ask the right questions and you think the right thoughts and you say the words in an empowering way, the law of attraction brings what you desire instead of what you do not want. The third secret key, I love keys. Keys are cool. Watch your words and how you talk to yourself. So I kind of walked right into that. How do you talk to yourself and others? Do you say things like, I can't afford that, stuff like that, or I don't want that? The subconscious doesn't work that way. So you want to just cancel, clear, delete those kind of words out of your vocabulary. You can afford it. It's just not the timing isn't right or whatever. There's other ways of talking to yourself and making quantum leaps in your emotional scale. We didn't get a chance to really talk about that, but that's part of it too. Number 4, your success is absolutely guaranteed. I love how Laura Lee put that on her little name tag so she can read those, and those messages are going in her mind all day long, even when she's not consciously aware of it. So you can do that too. And then according to her earlier teachers, know where you are. So you might want to get there, but you don't really know how to get there yet. You don't have to know how. You don't have to know how, not yet. But you really have to see where you are and be honest with yourself, because you can't go from here to there if you're not clear where you are right now. So if you're making $1,000 a month and you want to be making $10,000 or $20,000 a month, you have to be clear on where you are right now. And then you can start making those new steps and taking those new actions that will get you to your goals. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Suzie Bowers from Hypno Professional. I created Hypno Professional because I really want to help you to create the life that you desire and deserve while you're helping others. If you're a hypnotherapist or coach, or maybe you're just interested in finding out more about hypnotherapy and how you could create a business or transition from a hobby into an actual prosperous business, I'm here to help you. I'm going to have a training tomorrow on Thursday. I've been talking about this on how you can create a 6-figure business, how to talk to clients and that sort of thing. So I hope you'll join me. That's at 1:00 tomorrow afternoon, Pacific time. If you have any more questions, you want to find out how we can work together, I'd love to hear about your business. Visit me at hypnoprofessional.com or just private message me here on Facebook. Love to hear from you. All right. I love you. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome day. We'll see you next week for our next expert interview. Right now, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to stay tuned. All right. Bye-bye.